everybody. This is the Map Man. Thanks for tuning back in to the Ish, which looks like we might be changing our name from the Ish to the Low Tech Trek, since there's already somebody on YouTube dishing the Ish, and I'm very, very happy that you're there. Checked out a couple of your videos, and they look really, really good, awesome production standards, and I'm not into stepping on people's toes. So, let's just say officially this is the first half episode of Low Tech Trek. We're going to cover two things this time. Most specifically, The Walking Dead, possibilities for the upcoming half season, and Star Trek 3, the current amount of rumors that are floating around concerning that as well. So let's go ahead and get right into The Walking Dead. Now that Beth has her terminal headache going on, and sadly Emily Kinney's left the cast, we're in mid-season hiatus. Everybody's attending all the conventions and whatnot. Walker Stalker in Atlanta just wrapped like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, something like that, to rave reviews once again. But where's it going to now? There's one specific name, and anybody who's read the comic books knows the name that I'm talking about. It's been dropped several times from different sources on and off the set, and that name is Negan. Anyone who's familiar with the comics knows that this is not going to bode well for Glenn. Spoiler. But with them diverging so many different times from the path that the comic starts on, it's entirely possible that Glenn doesn't get it. We caught up with Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene in the comics around mid-50s, so it's worrisome and whatnot, but it's entirely possible that we could be up to where we meet Negan for the first time. We saw Lucille, actually, on the road to Terminus, scattered in between a couple of walkers. So, is it possible that he left it? Was Negan following Tyrese and Carol and the kids? No longer kids. Was he possibly following behind them and picks up Lucille on the way? At this point, it's anybody's guess. My personal guess for it is we're going to see the Lori Judith death scene that we saw in the comic books, but played out with a larger scale character instead of Lori, since of course she did it back a couple seasons ago. My personal bet on it is that it's going to be Norman Reedus. We're going to see Daryl probably take a shot in the back. It's going to kill Judith. We have to kill somebody. It's got to be something that gets the audience's attention. And more importantly, Judith isn't killing anybody. Basically, everybody else there, with the exception of Tyrese, and even he's taken out, walkers. We saw him go apeshit with that herd that they almost drove into, and he fought his way out of like 20 different walkers with a hammer. But we kind of need him still, to a certain extent, in the show, because he kind of counterbalances with Rick and Daryl. He's kind of like Daryl's counterbalance with that. Also, Reedus has Air coming on, the movie / maybe show. Heard about possibilities with that as well, but he's going to have to take some time off the show to do PR for that, and usually during the hiatuses, that's when everybody hits all the conventions and whatnot. So my personal guess is we're going to see Daryl take it through the shoulder. We're going to lose Judith either at the end of the season or going into next season. Negan's going to come into it, which just bodes well it bodes well for those of us that love the comic and love the show equally. Not so much for those of us that have followed the comic and know what happens when Negan steps into the picture, because let's face it, all hell breaks loose. He's 5 times worse than the governor ever was, and is just as bloodthirsty and maniacal. It's one of those things. I kind of hope it happens, kind of hope it doesn't, but we'll see what happens, coming closer to it. But the other interesting thing is, if we do see Negan, and we are that far along as far as with the progression of the comic versus the show, mid-season 6, it's completely off the books. It's going to be either introducing characters or following storylines that we've only seen vague glimpses of. Maybe with Daryl out, we'll find people stepping up that normally wouldn't. We saw, the friendship with Rosita and Glenn. I don't think that there's going to be any strife between Rosita and Maggie, because frankly, I think that would end up in an all-out catfight with, I don't know, Draw, maybe. Maggie is not somebody that's not a character I would ever want to mess with, and Rosita's cool people, but I think it would be very evenly matched. But I think Glenn would jump in the middle of it anyway and just stop that altogether. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't throw it into the comment box. Throw it in. Sorry, still learning my camera. Throw it into the comment box. What you think is going to happen. Mix it in with the show. Mix it in with the comic. It doesn't matter. This is all about forum getting ideas out, possible rumors. Toss it in there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit up Star Trek. A lot of rumors going around with Star Trek 3 in pre-production, finishing up scripts and whatnot, that they're talking about possibly bringing in a Riker, possibly as a Next Generation tie-in from original series to Next Gen. If they do, this is going to be Riker from Next Gen's probably his grandfather, possibly his father, something to that effect. Here's an idea that you might want to think about. How about bringing Q into it? Maybe we see the evolution for the first time of Q as a pivotal character in a plot line. Maybe his family was destroyed when that, the Mega Enterprise drove into Starfleet. Some casualty that we didn't see. You got this guy who's broken, doesn't know where he's going in life, maybe goes on a vision quest, soul trek, something like that, and gets picked up by the Continuum. Maybe because John Delancey's matured, that's a nice way of putting it, but maybe he keeps his visage that he has right now as a nod back to his humanity, and when he hits up Picard, he goes into a younger form so that Picard doesn't think he's as old as he is. Or maybe he's not stalking Picard so much as it is keeping a watch on Enterprise captains. It's entirely possible. It's one of those things that's up in the air. There's still not a lot out yet as far as with Star Trek 3, but it's going to be something that's going to be awesome to see about, when it comes up. One of the things that I had talked about as far as with doing this is doing contests and shout-outs. I'm trying to make the contest specific to what we're talking about, so there's going to be a combination of things up for the contest this time. If we make it to let's say 500 hits, or not hits, but 500 views, whatnot, I have ear necklaces. Anybody that remembers season 2 to any length knows that when Andrea took that pot shot at Daryl, he was wearing one of these, which were the ears from the 2 walkers that he basically had to kill his way out of with an arrow in his side. I have a couple of these, handmade, usually retail for about $30, but they're kind of cool, especially if anybody's doing any Daryl Dixon cosplay stuff. Or from the Star Trek side, I also have these, the little tiny quasi Lego figurines. I've got a couple of these, so if we hit 250, 500, somewhere on there, I want to try and keep it small right now because we're just starting out. We get up into that area, I'll pick a couple names, I'll send you guys emails, you let me know which of the ones you want for the Creo figures. I have a couple different ones from the Star Trek movies, so we'll set up something like that, but it'll be something nice. Anyway, as far as that goes, thanks for watching. Leave everything in the comment box. Let me know what you'd like to see. The production standards are staying low on purpose until I get everything set up, and then we'll see about expanding from that. Either way, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.